Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tutorial on this easy and quick mermaid look. If you like this look and you want to learn how to do it, just keep watching. Don't mind the random dancing and singing through this video because there's a lot of it. Okay, so I am starting with priming my face with the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Face Illuminating Primer. I'm just going to put that all over to give me that all over glow. I love this primer because it does do exactly that. It gives my face a glow, but it makes my makeup stay on. And I'm going to fast forward a lot of the face portion of this video just because, or just to save for time. But if you guys want to see a more in-depth video with my face routine, then just leave a comment down below and I'll do it. Now I'm going in with my foundation. This is the Born This Way from Too Faced. It's in the shade Light Beige, which as you can see is way too dark for me right now. But my neck and body, well, my chest and body are way darker than my face right now. So we're just trying to make it work, doing the best we can. And I'm just blending this out with my beauty blender, just a damp beauty blender, which I love for foundation in the summer. It just makes it look so even and nice and fresh and smooth. I have dry skin, so I don't like anything that's too heavy. So when it kind of thins out my foundation, it really helps me out. Now I'm going in with concealer, and I'm going to be using the bareMinerals Bare Skin Concealer, and it's in the shade Light. And I'm just doing all of the areas that I normally highlight and conceal around my eyes, down the center of my face, that sort of thing. This concealer gives just a beautiful all over glow to the skin. It's a dewy concealer, so it's going to be really nice and lightweight. As you can tell, I'm using my beauty blender again, and I love my beauty blender for my concealer because it does the same thing as it does for my foundation, just really thin it out, still gives me the coverage. I love it. Now I'm going in with the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder, which I love. This is an incredible powder. I have a little bit of an issue with pores and having enlarged pores, and this absolutely makes them invisible. It's incredible, and I'm just using this to set my entire face. And I'm showing you there. Sorry, my camera stopped recording. Anyway, what I was showing you, I was not going to put any powder on the lower half of my face because I will be going in with a liquid bronzer. This is the Nars Laguna liquid bronzer, which is incredible. This was in my summer favorites and I love it. I use it all the time. This is a beauty blender tutorial for sure. I'm using my beauty blender just to carve out my cheekbones. For this tutorial, I really wanted it nice and carved, but still very warm and neutral. So that's why I'm using this liquid bronzer first and using my beauty blender to blend it out, just so it's nice and blended and smooth. You want to work fast when you're using this liquid bronzer because it can dry, but as long as you're using a beauty blender or a nice dense brush, it will blend out like a dream. Now I'm going in with my Benefit Cosmetics Hula bronzer just to set that liquid bronzer and just to give a little bit more warmth and dimension. I'm using the Real Techniques cheek brush, and I absolutely love this brush. It's so inexpensive and it is incredible. I told you, random dancing and singing. Obviously couldn't help myself that day. Jesus Christ. Feeling those cheekbones, girl. So I film in natural lighting, so you're going to see a lot of changes. It was a stormy day, so you're going to see a lot of changes in the light. So I'm going in with the Becca Hill Champagne Glow face palette, and I'm using the blush in Amaretto, which I'm obsessed with, as you saw in my favorites video. Now I'm going to go in with the Prosecco Pop highlighter. I wanted to use a very gold highlight for this. I wanted it to be very glowing and golden because of the shadows that I'll use later. And I am packing that on. Look at that glow. Putting a little bit down the nose and on the Cupid's bow. I want to have a nice glow. Now I'm not doing my brows yet because the way I'm doing my makeup later, you will see it goes over the brows. Going in with my Too Faced Shadow Insurance eyeshadow primer. This stuff is like glue. Once you put shadow on it, that makeup's not coming off. I'm using my ring finger just because it won't pull on the skin and make sure it goes on nice and smooth. Now I'm going in with the Makeup Forever eyeshadow palette. This is the Artist Shadows number 2. And I am going in with the shade D552. As you can see, it's just this nice champagne-y gold, super light. And I'm putting that all over my lid. Now I'm going in with my Morphe 35C palette to put some color into these brows. I'm going with a black eyeshadow from this palette just to frame the top of my brows first. And this is my favorite eyebrow brush. Fun fact, I got it at Michael's for like $1 and something. It's the best. I have to figure out a new setup where you guys can see me a little bit better, but it's not showing half of my face. Didn't realize when I was doing all this because I was looking so close into the mirror that half of my face isn't shown. But now I'm taking that shade and going down my nose to give a nice dramatic sweep, because you'll see later I'm going to blend that out and give it a nice shade. Now I'm filling in the brows just a little bit with that same black shade. And I'm starting to angle it towards my brow because I am going to start blending that into another shadow. So I'm going just a little bit lighter as I go down. Now I'm taking these two, one teal and more of a turquoise color together, and I'm going to blend that into the black. And you will notice here that after I show you how to do one eye, then I go back off camera and I do the other one, just to save for time. You want to blend those out really well. So just blend them together using a nice small dense brush with that blue, turquoisey, whatever color you decide after the black. And I'm blending it down my nose and just blending it out from the black. Now I'm going back into the Makeup Forever Artist Shadows number 2 palette, taking the ME302 and using this gorgeous duochrome. It goes like brown, black, but it has a lot of teals and turquoise in it. It's gorgeous. I'm blending this in to give it some depth and darkness. This is also going to give it a nice amount of sheen too, because those other shades were very matte, so this is going to give it a little bit of a mermaidy scales glow. Now I'm taking the ColourPop eyeshadow in Telepathy. It's from the Where the Night Is collab with Kathleen Lights. I love this shade. It is like a green, yellowy gold, like a chartreuse, and I absolutely love it because it's so pigmented. I do recommend that you put it on with your finger because the glitter or the metallicness to it just shows up a little bit better when you do it with your finger. You can also use, if you don't want to use your finger, use a synthetic dense brush. But I do recommend the finger. It just goes on much more chromy and much more metallic. Chromy? Is that a word? It is now. And again, I am blending that up into those other shades so they all blend. I want it to blend very nicely, going back into that nice light teal turquoisey shade and just blending all the colors together using a crease brush. I feel like this look would also look good if you did almost like a bird tutorial too, because when it first starts out, before you start adding things, it almost looks very bird-like. I like it. Dual purpose makeup tutorial. I'm just shaping up the brows a little bit more. I wanted a little bit of a sharper edge. Look at that glow. Okay, now I'm going to start adding the shells. Trying to figure out where I wanted them and placing them. Now I'm using, I used the Duo lash adhesive in black. I do not recommend this. You will see later. Don't use black when you're putting it on your skin. It's great for the eyelashes, but when you put it on the skin, of course, it turns black so you can see it. So word to the wise, go in either with a clear adhesive or even use some spirit glue. That would be the best thing. I just happen to be out of it. And I would hold it on there because it does take a minute to dry. So just leave it on there until you can pull your hand away and it doesn't come with you. And I like this tutorial because you can really do anything you want when it comes to where you place your shells and things like that. Just do whatever you see fit and where you want them. And I also put a ton of glue on this one. Later on, it would not come off because I put so much on there. But hey, it stayed on there. And you sit and let it dry, and you sit and you wait, and you sit and you wait to let it dry. Then I started to put my head sideways because it took forever for that last glue to dry. Again, just use some spirit glue. You see that? You see where you can start seeing it? Ugh, I put a couple more on there. And now I'm going in with that same 2 eyeshadows from the Morphe palette I used before, and I'm going to blend this into my hairline with a crease brush and just blend it out. And this takes a lot of blending, so I am speeding this up a little bit. But blend, blend, blend until your fingers hurt. I was feeling like they weren't syncing together, the face and the shells, so I started blending a little bit of the shadow onto the shells. Going back in with Telepathy, and I'm going to blend the shadows together, again using my finger. Ugh, I love this eyeshadow. It makes it look like scales, and it is so cool. Going back in with a brush just to blend out these shadows and to make them look a little more seamless. Ugh, that glue, I'm telling you. Yeah, feeling myself. Putting some of that Telepathy down onto my nose as well as onto the seashells just to give it a little more chrominess and a little more of that scale-like look. I love this shadow. I pretty much just want to put it everywhere, and I do. I decided to put a little bit of the Telepathy onto my Cupid's bow and onto my lip, and I love the look that it gave. Going in with some mascara, and I'm using the Tarte Tarteist mascara, which I love, love, love. Now I'm going in with some Adrell, just individual lashes, just to give me a little bit of lashes on the outside. I didn't want to have super full lashes, wanted to have a more whimsical, like fanned out. It got really dark because of the storm, so it will be a little bit dark for the rest of the video. But I went in with Namaste from Tarte, the liquid lipstick, and I'm just blending this in with Telepathy that I have on my lips. Again, excuse the darkness because it started to super storm outside. Just blending in Telepathy a little bit more with the lipstick. And there you have it. That completes this quick and easy mermaid look. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love this look. Please like and subscribe this video if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks, guys.